On May 2nd, 2026, we filed emergency notice of worsening safety conditions, procedural failures, and request for immediate judicial action. I'm going to read it to you. Plaintiff respectfully submits this emergency notice due to continuing and worsening safety-related concerns affecting Plaintiff Angelique Hernandez, Plaintiff Christina Hernandez, Plaintiff's son, Ruben Anthony Jimenez, and Plaintiff Christina's childhood friend, Emily Lovato. Plaintiff requests immediate judicial action to the procedural delays and unresolved filings in this matter. Procedural history. Plaintiff filed the initial complaint on September 5th, 2025, and additional filings on February 10th and 11th, 2026, including a motion to clarify the record and an updated application to proceed without prepaying fees. These filings were stamped as received by the clerk's office on February 11th, 2026. As of May 2nd, 2026, plaintiff has not received a ruling, mailed notice, or further instruction from the court regarding these filings. These filings have now been pending for several months without acknowledgement or action. Plaintiff respectfully requests immediate clarification regarding the status of the pending motions and the overall status of the case. Temporary restraining order. Plaintiff previously requested a temporary restraining order due to ongoing cyberstalking concerns. The court denied that request. Plaintiff respectfully states that safety concerns have worsened since the denial, necessitating this emergency notice. Updated safety-related observations. Plaintiff submits additional safety-related information to ensure the court has a complete and updated record. On April 5th, 2026, Plaintiff Angelique experienced an incident in which an individual attempted to lure her toward his vehicle. On March 21st, 2026, an individual approached plaintiffs claiming his dog was missing. Plaintiffs report that random individuals have come to the residence asking for people who do not live there, and that prank phone calls occur throughout the day. On February 12, 2026, Plaintiff Christina's grandmother reported observing an individual known to the family, Ruben Jimenez, aka Jr., driving past the residence in a white truck and expressed concern to Christina at the time. Plaintiff further notes that earlier filings referenced concerns involving plaintiff's son, Ruben Anthony Jimenez, and plaintiff Christina's childhood friend, Emily Lovato. For the record, plaintiffs have previously reported concerns related to child exploitation and requested a temporary restraining order, which was denied. Plaintiff respectfully states that safety concerns have continued and worsened. Plaintiff Angelique Hernandez now formally submits updated safety concerns regarding her son, Ruben Anthony Jimenez, and plaintiff Christina's childhood friend, Emily Lovato, and requests that the court confirm these concerns are included in the record and that this updated information is logged accordingly. Plaintiffs include these incidents to document the ongoing pattern of unwanted contact and escalating safety concerns, cyberstalking, social media suppression, and environmental harassment. Plaintiffs have documented ongoing cyberstalking concerns, including interference with electronic communications and denied access to an FBI agent in person 3 times, by phone and by mail. Plaintiffs also report that Christina's social media accounts are suppressed, with videos freezing, failing to upload, and are not reaching the public. Plaintiffs further report a pattern of environmental harassment occurring at their residence, including neighbors setting off fireworks whenever plaintiffs take a shower, neighbors repeatedly triggering their car alarms, neighbors locking and unlocking their vehicles in repeated patterns, gunshots. These behaviors have been documented in prior filings and have not subsided, but instead have increased in frequency and intensity. Financial and housing-related incidents. Plaintiffs also report several incidents that have contributed to safety concerns and instability. Issues involving the Barclay credit card, including unexpected reductions in available credit that took place on a Friday night into Saturday morning right before the pickup of a scheduled rental vehicle. Denial of a rental car despite a prepaid reservation, removal from a hotel despite having a confirmed and prepaid booking, alarm going off in plaintiff's hotel room with no explanation given by management. These incidents were previously documented with the establishments involved and are included here to ensure the court has a complete record of the ongoing pattern of disruptions affecting plaintiff's safety and stability. Communications with T-Mobile. Plaintiffs have reported concerns to T-Mobile regarding unauthorized access to their accounts over an extended period. On April 29, 2026, plaintiff submitted a written communication to T-Mobile CEO Mike Sever titled Executive Response Required, Unresolved Technical Issues and Threats to Safety. Plaintiff has not received a response. Plaintiff respectfully requests that the court acknowledge receipt of this communication, which is attached as Exhibit A, and confirm that it is included in the record. Safety concerns for Ruben Anthony Jimenez and Emily Lovato. Plaintiff Angelique's son, Ruben Anthony Jimenez, is under the same T-Mobile contract referenced in prior filings. Plaintiffs report that his phone passwords have been compromised and that he is experiencing cyberstalking consistent with the same IT vendor previously reported to the court. Plaintiffs document that he is in danger. Plaintiffs further report that Emily Lovato's electronics have been compromised and she is experiencing similar interference. Plaintiffs document that she is also in danger. Both individuals are vulnerable survivors of child exploitation, and plaintiffs respectfully request that the court take their safety and well-being seriously as part of its review of this matter. Their safety concerns are directly connected to the issues raised in this case and cannot be separated from the court's handling of this matter. Repeated harassment to a Mother's Day abduction planned for both Ruben Anthony Jimenez and Emily Lovato. The court is put on notice. Department of Education and Illinois Board of Nursing. Plaintiff attaches as Exhibit B the December 1st, 2025 communication to the U.S. Department of Education documenting that the Department of Education did not respond by its stated deadline of December 1st, 2025. Plaintiff Christina was dismissed from DePaul University's nursing program on October 6, 2025, while under active protection. The dismissal was confirmed on October 7, 2025. The Department of Education never conducted an interview with Christina. The Department of Education did not verify when DePaul University was notified of her complaint. The Illinois Board of Nursing assigned a case number and then ceased communication with no follow-up or investigation. Institutional misconduct has occurred across multiple institutions. Public access and suppression concerns. Plaintiff further states that despite the court's claim that the complaint and filings are public, plaintiffs have never received a single phone call, inquiry, or request for information from any news outlet, reporter, or member of the public. Plaintiffs document for the record that their filings appear to be sealed or suppressed from public access, given the nature of the subject matter involving child exploitation and institutional misconduct. Plaintiffs respectfully request that the court confirm whether the filings are publicly accessible and whether any restrictions have been placed on public visibility. Emergency request for court acknowledgement. Plaintiff respectfully requests immediate acknowledgement that this emergency notice has been received, confirmation that all previously submitted safety-related materials remain part of the record, confirmation that Exhibit A through F are included in the record, clarification regarding the status of pending motions, guidance on next procedural steps. Plaintiff further states that this emergency notice does not encompass the full extent of the harm plaintiffs have experienced, which has continued and worsened due to the court's failure to act on filings submitted several months ago. This emergency notice is submitted due to continuing and worsening safety-related concerns in the absence of judicial action on filings submitted months ago. Plaintiffs note that this emergency notice includes only 6 exhibits due to the urgency of the filing. Plaintiffs possess extensive additional documentation, including evidence of cyberstalking, environmental harassment, financial disruptions, electronic interference, and safety-related incidents involving plaintiffs' son Ruben Anthony Jimenez, and plaintiff Christina's childhood friend Emily Lovato. Plaintiffs will submit these additional exhibits upon the court's request. Plaintiff has placed the court on notice repeatedly and in good faith. Request for court protective consideration for vulnerable individuals. Plaintiff respectfully states that both Ruben Anthony Jimenez and Emily Lovato are vulnerable individuals whose safety are directly connected to the matters raised in this case. Plaintiff documents that Ruben Anthony Jimenez is under the same T-Mobile contract as plaintiffs. His phone passwords have been compromised. He is experiencing cyberstalking consistent with the same IT vendor previously reported to the court, and he is in danger. Plaintiffs further document that Emily Lovato's electronics have been compromised and she is experiencing similar interference. Plaintiffs state that she is also in danger. Both individuals are survivors of child exploitation, and their safety and well-being are directly implicated in the concerns raised in this matter. Plaintiffs respectfully request that any court inquiry, communication, or protective consideration regarding the safety of Ruben Anthony Jimenez and Emily Lovato be directed through Plaintiff Angelique Hernandez, who is documenting these concerns and will ensure that all information is preserved and communicated appropriately. Plaintiffs further request that the court evaluate whether temporary protective measures or other appropriate relief should be considered for these vulnerable individuals as part of the court's review of this emergency notice. Plaintiff is the responsible party in this case and will continue to document all institutional responses, omissions, and handling of these matters as part of the official record. Procedural failures and non-responsiveness from EEOC, IDHR, and DHS. Plaintiff respectfully documents additional procedural concerns involving the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, EEOC, the Illinois Department of Human Rights, IDHR, and the Illinois Department of Human Services, DHS. EEOC. Plaintiff states that the EEOC prematurely issued a right to sue letter before plaintiff was able to complete the evidentiary process. Plaintiff further documents that access to the EEOC public portal was subsequently blocked, preventing plaintiff from uploading additional evidence or communicating through the secure system. Plaintiff made repeated attempts to obtain assistance, received only automated acknowledgments, and no substantive response. Plaintiff also documents that the EEOC has not responded to any of plaintiff's emails over several months regarding procedural questions, case status, or safety-related concerns. These communications are documented in Exhibit C. IDHR. Plaintiff further documents that the Illinois Department of Human Rights has repeatedly failed to respond to plaintiff's emails seeking clarification, status updates, and procedural guidance. Despite multiple attempts to obtain information, plaintiff has received no substantive response from IDHR. These communications are documented in Exhibit C. DHS. Plaintiff documents that the Illinois Department of Human Services assigned a case number to plaintiff's report but ceased communication thereafter, with no follow-up, no investigation, and no acknowledgement of plaintiff's subsequent inquiries. Plaintiff further documents an in-person visit on April 9th, 2026, during which staff provided contradictory statements, refused to provide written confirmation, and failed to escalate plaintiff's safety disclosures despite mandatory reporting obligations. These incidents are documented in Exhibit D. These incidents are included to ensure the court has a complete record of the procedural barriers, blocked access, and institutional non-responsiveness that have contributed to ongoing safety concerns, delays, and instability. Department Department of Justice non-responsiveness. Plaintiff further documents that the United States Department of Justice, DOJ, has also failed to provide any acknowledgement or response to plaintiff's written and online submissions. On April 10, 2026, plaintiff sent a formal email to multiple DOJ divisions requesting federal review due to a documented pattern of non-responsiveness and procedural obstruction across multiple agencies. Plaintiff received no response from any DOJ division. Plaintiff also submitted an online complaint through the DOJ portal and similarly received no acknowledgement, confirmation, or follow-up. Plaintiff notes that the April 10, 2026 email included 8 attachments documenting non-responsiveness from IDHR, EEOC, IDHS, and Vanguard. Yet no DOJ representative has contacted plaintiff or provided any written confirmation that the complaint was received or reviewed. This communication is documented in Exhibit E. Vanguard, non-responsiveness, and unresolved account discrepancies. Plaintiff further documents significant procedural concerns involving Vanguard, including unresolved ledger errors, contradictory explanations from staff, and a complete lack of written response from Vanguard's executive team. On April 14, 2026, plaintiff contacted Vanguard regarding a $2,000 withdrawal with a $200 federal withholding. Instead of processing the transaction as authorized, Vanguard removed $2,200 and later returned the full amount, including the purported federal withholding, as a $200 cash sweep out. During a call on April 14, 2026, a Vanguard representative provided an explanation that was internally inconsistent and impossible under IRS withholding rules. Plaintiff requested written clarification from Vanguard's executive team regarding why a $200 cash sweep occurred, why it was not labeled as a withholding, how it was reversed overnight if it was supposedly sent to the IRS, and why multiple employees provided contradictory explanations. Despite sending a written request to multiple Vanguard executives on April 15, 2026, plaintiff received no written response or clarification. This lack of acknowledgement and failure to correct or explain the ledger discrepancies is consistent with the broader pattern of institutional non-responsiveness documented throughout this filing. These communications are documented in Exhibit F. These incidents are included to ensure the court has a complete record of the federal level non-responsiveness that has contributed to ongoing procedural delays, lack of clarity, and worsening safety concerns. Respectfully submitted, Christina Hernandez and Angelique Hernandez, dated May 2nd, 2026. Today, we had to file a supplemental notice of procedural irregularities and safety-related observations. Here's why. This is regarding emergency notice of worsening safety conditions, procedural failures, and request for immediate judicial action submitted by plaintiff Angelique Hernandez. Plaintiff Angelique Hernandez respectfully submits this supplemental notice to document additional procedural irregularities and safety-related observations occurring on May 4th, 2026. This notice supplements the emergency motion previously submitted and is intended to ensure the record reflects all relevant events occurring on May 4th, 2026. This notice is provided for the purpose of maintaining an accurate and complete record. Court stamped copy received. On May 4th, 2026, plaintiff received a filed stamped copy of the emergency motion submitted to the court. Plaintiff notes that no received stamped copy was provided. Plaintiff documents this for the record because prior filings in this matter have also reflected irregularities in clerk stamping sequences. Electronic pop-up observed. At 11:44 a.m. on May 4, 2026, plaintiff Angelique observed a pop-up message on plaintiff's laptop from Empist stating, "Sorry, I didn't get that." Plaintiff documents that this occurred immediately after plaintiff documented that the court sent a filed stamped copy of the emergency motion but did not provide a received stamped copy. This emergency motion concerned a planned abduction of plaintiff's son, Ruben Anthony Jimenez, and Emily Rose Lovato. AI system non-responsiveness. Plaintiff further documents that during the same time period, plaintiff's AI system became non-responsive. This is noted solely for the purpose of maintaining a chronological record of electronic irregularities. Unsolicited text message. While drafting this notice, plaintiffs received an unsolicited text message from phone number. The message was in Spanish and appeared to be a translation of a voicemail, although no incoming call was received. Plaintiff documents this as part of the ongoing pattern of unexpected or unexplained communications previously reported to the court. Context of the emergency motion. Plaintiff notes that the emergency motion referenced above concerns safety-related issues involving plaintiff's son, Ruben Anthony Jimenez, and plaintiff Christina's childhood friend, Emily Rose Lovato. Plaintiff documents that there were planned abductions for the following dates. April 14th, 2026, planned abduction of Ruben Anthony Jimenez. April 21st, 2026, planned abduction of Emily Rose Lovato. April 30th, 2026, planned abduction of Ruben Anthony Jimenez. May 8th, 2026, planned abduction of Emily Rose Lovato. Plaintiff documents that these were planned Mother's Day abductions. On April 30th, 2026, plaintiff noticed an Xfinity truck sitting outside their home. The license plate is 254959. When plaintiff Christina went outside to document the license plate, the truck drove off. Plaintiff includes these dates to maintain continuity with prior filings and to ensure the court has a complete record of the concerns previously reported. Plaintiffs further document that this observation occurred during a period in which plaintiffs' filings have reflected inconsistencies in processing, acknowledgement, and clerk stamping, and during which the court has not issued responses or rulings on any of plaintiffs' filings for several months as reflected on the docket. Plaintiffs further document that their own safety has been an ongoing concern for several years, as reflected in the emergency motion and in multiple prior filings submitted to the court, and this includes the safety of Ruben Anthony Jimenez and Emily Rose Lovato. Purpose of this supplemental notice. This supplemental notice is submitted solely for the purpose of documenting observed events, procedural irregularities, and safety-related concerns occurring immediately after the filing of the emergency motion. Plaintiffs document these events to ensure the court has a complete and accurate record of all developments connected to the safety concerns previously reported. Plaintiffs further state that these observations highlight the need for the court to fully review the emergency motion, acknowledge the documented safety-related concerns involving Ruben Anthony Jimenez and Emily Rose Lovato, and ensure that all filings and supplemental notices are properly entered into the record. Plaintiffs submit this notice to ensure that all documented events are preserved in the record without omission. Plaintiffs respectfully request that this supplemental notice be added to the record in full. Respectfully submitted, Christina Hernandez and Angelique Hernandez, dated May 4th, 2026. I want to end this with my social media continues to be suppressed by YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. So is our court documents. FBI, investigate. I also want to add something that happened while my mom was at the store today. While she was at the self-checkout, a man next to her said to an employee, "No one will know." The employee responded, "That is between you and God." This is the exact message people are being told to get them on board to cover up what we are exposing. God works in mysterious ways. So it is interesting that our court documents are being silenced. Let that sink in.